Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Daily Bullet. I am Paul Lathrop. I'm the Deputy Director of New Media for the Second Amendment Foundation. Joining me today, you hear this all the time, but in this case it's really true. My good friend Kevin Sona from Florida Carry is joining us. Kevin, thanks for being here today, man.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime.
So, what I really wanted to talk to you about today on the Daily Bullet is an event coming up in March in Florida. Your, I've heard it called everything from the Florida camping event to the mini GRPC. Do you have an official title for this thing you're doing in March?
We usually just called it the camping event, but it's definitely growing into something else, and we're going to have to start, I think, brainstorming on some ideas and some names. I
So,
keep saying you're right. You're right, Paul, in the fact where I say it's like GRPC,
right,
but instead of at a hotel, we're camping. It's GRPC, but in the woods.
there you go. There you go. So let's talk about your camping event coming up in March. First of all, let's get the date down. I want to say it's March 19th. Is that correct?
Correct. The camping event is March 19th, which is Friday, and it goes into Sunday morning is pack out day, which would be the 21st.
Okay. And this is your fourth annual one or third annual one?
Fourth.
Fourth. Very cool. Let's start with how did this thing get started?
It started as just a fellowship, just to get together with some of our members and our family and just have a good time. And it worked into, I had an individual by the name of Terry Power who was running for House District down here in Florida at one point, and he asked if he could come speak at the event. And that's when the gears started rolling. I was like, okay, this could turn into something else. And then I had another gentleman that got contact me by the name of Joe Maddox, who is a firearms instructor who made a mistake and negligently put a round through his hand, and he owned it. He didn't complain about it. He didn't try to make excuses. And he's like, hey, can I come out and speak with the kids and say, no matter how familiar you are with gun rights, with firearms, you can basically have a brain fart. So he came out and did that. So I seen everyone's attention, and I went, okay, this is pretty neat. And the following year, we ended up having a few more guest speakers. And then the third year, we had Masada Yub come out. We've had individuals come out that were involved in home defense situations where they had to shoot and kill an individual. So stuff like that, it's really grown. And we've had Charlie Cook with Riding Shotgun with Charlie come out. We've had Rob Morse from Slow Facts come out and speak. So it's growing.
Very, very cool. So the speaker event, which is kind of the highlight of the whole thing, actually happens on March 20th on Saturday, right?
Correct. It's been tough this year with everything going on with the Rona.
Yeah.
From my understanding, if you say the C word, you can be censored pretty quick now, especially on social media. So I'll go with the Rona. But we couldn't reserve the state park to hold the event because on Saturday we have about 250 people show up for the speaker portion of the event. It's kind of become a separate event from the camping get together. The camping thing now has become a networking event. That may be the best way to put it. And the speaker portion is for individuals to come out and fill some seats and get educated. But it was hard this year. I reached out to a local company that builds RVs here in Ocala called Runaway Campers, and I connected with them, and they agreed to host our event free of charge. So they're offering their facilities to us.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about. I'm looking right now at your speakers list, and you got some heavy hitters. Uh, Two friends of ours, Amanda Suffolk, Cheryl Totter, coming out to speak. Um, Amy Dillon and David Smith, the Parkinson shooter, are coming out to speak. Uh, Craig DeLuz and Dan Waz are going to be there to speak, as well as Jan Morgan and Eric Pratt. of Gun Owners of America. All right, and then that's not it. There's more speakers than that.
Yeah.
So you've got some really heavy hitters coming out to talk to people on Saturday.
Yeah, it was interesting with Eric Pratt. I was up in Detroit, Michigan, attending Rick Ector's event, his free women's firearms event, and GOA was there, and GOA donated, I think, all the eye protection, ear protection for the event. So I got a chance to really sit down and really talk with Eric for a while, kind of like we do in GRPC. So I invited him out, and he agreed to come out and speak at this event. So I was stoked. It's like kind of like a bucket list.
Sure, sure. So just like if you go to Gun Rights Policy Conference in September, when you show up, they feed you lunch. Well, you do that too. Only this is a real little bit of a feast you throw out on that day.
Yeah, and I gotta thank the firearms firm in Orlando for that. David Katz and James Phillips, who will also be speaking at the event. Their firearms firm, Katz and Phillips, is donating the food for the event. So even during the camping event, we're providing everything. During the speaker event on Saturday, it's hamburgers and hot dogs and chips and drinks for everyone in attendance. So we'll go through close to 350, 400 hamburgers and hot dogs.
Right, right. So let's talk a little bit more then about the camping. This is not a huge place that you get. It's a little bit limited as far as campsites, right?
Especially this year, we couldn't reserve the campsite. We usually do year after year. So this year it's Ross Prairie State Campground, and we reserved 11 sites, and I think the park has 14.
Okay.
But it's a state campground.
So 11 sites. If you're talking 3 to 4 people per campsite, that you're still looking at a very limited amount of people that can do the camping, right?
Yeah, it's actually we can have 88 people camping. Okay. So it's eight individuals per site, one RV or one tent or two tents. It's the type of deal with it. But I know I'm excited that Amy and Dave are driving from Texas. Mm-hmm. They're bringing their own RV, so they're coming in on Thursday.
Okay.
And Florida Carry, we're providing everything. So we're providing the campsites and stuff like that for everybody. And I owe everyone a lot because, like GRPC, everyone's coming in on their own dime.
Right, right.
And they're coming in here because they want to. So that's huge. We have not only the guest speakers, which is, I think we're at 11. But we only on Saturday, unlike GRPC, we only have a few hours to get everything in.
Right.
So what's not on the list that you see is we're going to have a panel that's going to consist of Rick Ector, Gina Roberts. I'm going to ask Amy to get on there, but I haven't spoken with her yet. So Amy, do it if you'd like to. So Rob Morris is going to be on there. Dr. John Dean is going to be on there. And subject for that is going to be a diversity in the gun community, how the Second Amendment, civil rights is for everybody. And organizations like Florida Carry, organizations like Gun Owners of America, and organizations like the Second Amendment Foundation, we're fighting for everyone's right.
Alrighty. So let's let everybody know. First of all, when I was able to speak last year, and part of the thing was if you were camping, you could open carry. Because of some odd rules that Florida has, but with it being moved to a state park now, a different state park, and the speaking event being moved to private property of a RV manufacturer, I'm guessing the open carry is kind of out, right?
Open carry is not out if you're camping. So under Florida law, under Florida statute 792.5.3 subsection H, you can open carry if you're engaged in hunting, fishing, camping, or target shooting, going to and from. So camping, any individuals who are camping can open carry while they're camping. They can go to the bathroom, they can walk site to site, things like that. Florida law is very, very strange. Now, for the ones that are camping going to the speaker event, I am going to speak with our legal counsel, Eric Friday, on that. I'm not going to say you can or can't. I'll let Eric decide on that. But individuals that are camping can. Individuals that are just showing up for the event cannot. Because under Florida law, even we're holding this event at Runaway Campers, Stephen Shives, the owner of it, cannot give people permission to open carry on his property if they're not engaged in one of those activities or they're working for him.
All right. All right. Well, we are coming up quickly on the time we have available for today. If somebody's interested in attending your event in March, and I got to tell you, I attended last year. I'm going to be there this year. It's a fun event. It's a whole lot of fun. And before we, one last thing before we even get to that, we had SHOT Show happen in January just before your event, because your event was in late February last year.
Correct.
And then the entire nation shut down. NRA show, bink, gone. The Second Amendment Foundation's GRPC had to go online. That was gone. AmCon, of course, that had to go too. Everything went online. I think this is going to be the first in-person gathering of Second Amendment advocates in a year.
I think you're right. I think you're right on that. And I was blown away when I went to Rick's event back in August, and it was pointed out to me that this was the first time we've been together all year holding something, because he had firearms instructors that I know come from all over the country as well. So it was like, wow, I didn't realize that. And hopefully we're not the only thing that happens in 2021.
Right.
I want GRPC to happen.
In one form or another, it will.
Well, Paul, one thing, not to cut you off, not only are you coming out to this event, you're going to be one of the main hosts emceeing this event. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries at all. If somebody is interested in attending your event, I know there are ways they can get more information. How can they do that?
The Florida Carry Facebook page and my personal page, you can look me up on Facebook, Kevin Sona. I created an event just to kind of keep track of who's showing up for the speaker portion of the event, so we have an idea on how much food to purchase. Okay. That's going to be the best way. Everyone on social media is going to have links for it going. I believe other individuals are going to be talking about it and holding different news podcasts, things like that.
All right, very cool. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Kevin, thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Everybody, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe. And when you do, hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when we release more videos, which we will be doing next year. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the last one for this year. We'll see you in 2021.